What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be doing another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube, and it is free to subscribe. Social media links are in the description along with my email. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 600 likes, and also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Finally, this video is sponsored and it's brought to you by Honeywell Smart Lighting. Have you ever wanted to be a content creator and you're looking to take your setup to the next level? Well, one of the most important things that you need to think about is lighting. This is where Honeywell Smart Lighting have you covered. The Honeywell F01 floor lamp is designed to give you smart, convenient and efficient lighting for your videos as well as everyday life. The lamp features certified eye protection performance with the colour rendering index and no visible light flicker to make filming both comfortable, and it will also give you that professional look that you want in your videos. It can be used for everyday life, whether that be in your living room, a work from home space or a studio. The light is easy to set up, easy to use, and comes with a remote control too, so you can toggle with the settings and set the light up to however you please for that day. You want to focus? The light has you covered. You want to chill? The light has you covered. You want to create videos with high quality lighting? The lamp has you covered. So go and check out Honeywell Smart Lighting and their F01 floor lamp. The link is in the description of this video, and anyone that checks out the lamp using my link in the description does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So let's crack on with today's video. So we've got no contract news to speak about, so we're going to dive straight on in with the outs. We've got the latest on Jamie Gittens, former Manchester City youngster. Now, he was sold to Borussia Dortmund back in 2020, and as part of that deal, Manchester City included a sell-on fee set at 10%. Now, he is close to sealing a £29.51 million move from Borussia Dortmund to Chelsea, and if the total fee is going to be included as part of this sell-on fee, then Manchester City could be gaining a cool £2.95 million from this transfer. Remains to be seen as to whether it's going to be a 10% sell-on fee for the profit that's made on the transfer, or if it's from the total transfer sale. If it is, then Manchester City could be netting a very cool £3 million. Now, moving on, we've also got an update on City youngster Charlie Gray, and Alan Nixon has said that Sunderland want to try and sign Charlie Gray from Manchester City's academy this summer. This is all dependent on what happens with Jobe Bellingham, the brother of Jude Bellingham. If he does leave Sunderland this summer and Borussia Dortmund are very keen, then Sunderland will need to find a replacement ready for their Premier League campaign, and Charlie Gray apparently is top of their wish list, the 19-year-old English central midfielder at Manchester City, who City do not want to sell. However, City could be tempted to do business if the fee is right, and of course some bonuses are included on this deal along with a sell-on fee. So it is looking like Gray may be going down the same route that many Manchester City youngsters have gone down, which is rather than working to try and work their way into the first team squad, or they feel like the opening isn't there, they decide to go and pursue a career elsewhere instead. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Kevin De Bruyne, and Sacha Tavolieri has said that Kevin De Bruyne is still really close to a move to Napoli, despite some reports of some very late interest coming in for KDB, including from Fenerbahce over in Turkey. He is still expected to be a Napoli player, and I do feel like this interest coming in from Turkey may just be coming from Kevin De Bruyne's camp to get Napoli to make a move on, because there seems to be an operation delay things. So we're saying they were going to leave it until after the international break. We're getting towards the end of the international break, and then there were reports saying actually we want to deal with this once the players are back on pre-season into July, and Kevin De Bruyne's contract of course up in June. So I feel like Kevin De Bruyne's camp just making a move here, linking with some other clubs, so Napoli get a move on to get all the paperwork sorted, or they will run the risk of losing their man if they're going to keep delaying the transfer. So still expected to sign for Napoli. I will keep my eyes and ears open if that is no longer the case. Now, moving on, we've got the latest on Bernardo Silva, and Foot Mercato said that Al Hilal over in Saudi Arabia have added Bernardo Silva to their wanted list this summer. Bernardo Silva more than likely will not be signing a new contract at Manchester City, which does mean he's going to have 12 months left on his contract, and with interest coming in from Turkey, from Portugal and from Saudi Arabia as well this summer, when it comes to Bernardo Silva, he does have options. If, of course, Bernardo wants to stay at Manchester City, I imagine City will ask the question as to whether he wants to sign a new contract or not, but the fact that he's been linked with the exit door now for the last 3 or 4 summers tells me that Bernardo Silva does, once he feels like his time is up, it's ready for him to leave, and you feel like that is going to come next summer, and that would mean him leaving when his contract expires and he can leave for free if, of course, that is what Bernardo Silva wants. Now, moving on to the final transfer of the outs takes us on to an update on Jack Grealish, and Alan Nixon has said that Newcastle are interested in signing Jack Grealish, but they're only interested in signing him on loan. Jack Grealish and Manchester City want a permanent transfer, so if I were Man City, I don't think I'd entertain this, to be honest. They could always use Jack Grealish as a bargaining tool to try and find some breakthrough in negotiations when it comes to City's potential pursuit of Tino Livramento, but the problem is Newcastle will not want to pay Jack Grealish's wage, which demands a set at over £300,000 a week, which is his wage that he's on at Manchester City. It also kind of alienates Spurs, who Grealish has been getting linked with, because they're not going to pay that wage. Napoli, who have also been heavily linked with a move for Jack Grealish, they're not going to want to pay that wage. No European club are going to pay that wage, so there's only realistically a set of teams that are willing to pay that wage for Jack Grealish, and maybe even some more, and that would be interest coming in from Saudi Arabia, but Jack Grealish has already said that Saudi Arabia is at the bottom of his list, and he'd only be going there if there is no other option. So if they do want to go down the loan route, and I presume Newcastle want to go down that loan route due to wage, they'll want City to pay some of his wage, then you run the risk of this ending up like Calvin Phillips, where if a player doesn't end up impressing, or a club just can't simply afford his wage because Newcastle aren't going to put him on £300,000 a week this summer, they're not going to put him on it next summer either, so what's the point in loaning here? Cut out the middleman, stop with all the loans, and look for the permanent sales, even if it means accepting a little bit less on the fee. If we do want to go down that loan route, it's really important in terms of a purchase option that we've got an obligation to buy, not an option to buy. We don't want to be going down this Calvin Phillips route. We want to be getting this right for City's sake, for Jack Grealish's sake, and for whoever wants to bring in Jack Grealish as well. This could get very messy very quickly, so very interesting to see how City handle this, as I was saying in yesterday's transfer update. Interesting because we've always seen Hugo Viana obviously bringing players in and signing players. How good is he at getting rid of players now? Really interesting. We'll keep my eyes and ears open on that one. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got the latest on Caelan-Kole Cadamarteri, who is the 15-year-old striker from Sheffield Wednesday that City were being linked with a couple of days back, and Fabrizio Romano has said that the Sheffield Wednesday youngster will be joining Manchester City. Here we go. No mention of a fee. He isn't a professional player as of yet, so I think compensation is going to be needed for this transfer. He will go into Manchester City's academy after impressing in Sheffield Wednesday's under-18 side. I don't think there'll be any official announcement on this transfer. Caelan-Kole will just one day appear at Manchester City's academy, so I'm going to take this time to say welcome Caelan-Kole to Manchester City. Best of luck here and enjoy it. Living every young player's dream, and his dream is now his reality, playing for Manchester City. Moving on, we've got the very latest on Rayan Ait-Nouri, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Rayan Ait-Nouri completed his Manchester City medical yesterday afternoon, and he is set to sign a 5-year contract. The transfer could well be announced today. If it's not going to be announced today, I suspect it will come at some point tomorrow. Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs have said that the fee is set at €40 million, or £33.72 million plus €3 million in add-ons, or £2.53 million, which for a total deal worth €43 million, or £36.25 million to take Rayan Ait-Nouri to Manchester City from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Because we're dealing with two teams here from the Premier League, and it is an English transfer between two English clubs for a player who plays in the English League, I'm not too sure why things have been negotiated in euros. Maybe someone can enlighten me as to why. There must be a reason for this, but Premier League to Premier League transfers are normally done in Great British pounds, not done in euros, so I can't really put my finger on why it's been dealt with in euros, and that's why we're dealing with whole numbers when it comes to euros and decimal points when it comes to the Great British pound. But here we are. Anyway, Sky Sports News have said it's £31 million as an upfront fee, with bonuses taking the deal to £36.3 million, conflicting reports about the upfront fee, but everyone seems to be agreeing that it is a deal worth just over £36 million. And as I said, Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed today that 5-year contract has been signed, and there is rumours that Rayan Ait-Nouri is going to be wearing the number 21 shirt at Manchester City, which of course is famed by David Silva. Now moving on, we've got an interesting update on Tino Livramento. And Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City haven't made any progress when it comes to Livramento over the last week or so. Newcastle aren't lowering their asking price for the 22-year-old fullback from Newcastle United, and also English, which makes him homegrown. Fabrizio Romano has said that Newcastle have plans for the upcoming season, and then plans do include Livramento. They're not interested in selling him, and despite interest coming in from City and some questions being asked by Manchester City, nothing's materialised before the Club World Cup, and Newcastle want to keep hold of Livramento. And I don't feel like anything is going to materialise here unless we get word from Livramento that he does want to pursue a move to Manchester City. So unless we get him saying that he really wants this move, I just can't see it happening. We went with this last summer with Bruno Guimaraes. We waited 4 to 6 weeks and nothing materialised. We wasn't getting anywhere. And the same will be said here for Livramento as well. You know, we're talking about a player who's very settled, getting regular minutes at Newcastle United. They're playing in the Champions League. It becomes very difficult for City to make this transfer happen. In particular, I'm not under the impression that Newcastle are struggling with PSR. They don't need to make the sale, so it becomes really difficult for City. And Lee Ryder at the Chronicle Live up in Newcastle has said that Newcastle would only consider selling Tino Livramento this summer if a ridiculous price was paid for him. Problem is, we've had no numbers put out there in terms of rumours, so I don't know what fee we're talking here. Some have been mentioning £80 million. I imagine we're probably talking even more than that. So yeah, any developments on that, of course, we'll keep you guys up to date with. And finally, quick note on Tijjani Reijnders, a 26-year-old Dutch central midfielder from AC Milan. He left the Netherlands camp this morning from Helsinki over in Finland. He landed in Manchester this morning at 9:04 a.m. British summertime, and he arrived on a private jet. And it's been reported that Tijjani Reijnders completed his medical today, will sign his Manchester City contract, and as confirmed by Tijjani Reijnders yesterday to Dutch television, he said that he's going over to Manchester, he's doing his medical, he's signing his contract, he's sealing the transfer, and he will be heading back to the Netherlands camp in Holland today, this evening, ready for preparations for their World Cup qualifier at home, where they take on Malta on Tuesday evening. So I suspect we may get an announcement on Tijjani Reijnders in the coming 24 to 48 hours. We'll see when we're going to announce Rayan Ait-Nouri. We're waiting on developments on that, and of course, no update today on Rayan Cherki as of yet. I imagine that City will be pushing really hard for this once he's done on international duty with France. Of course, the international break has caused some problems for City when it comes to trying to add players before the Club World Cup, which is why we're leaving things so late here. Of course, that deadline shuts on Tuesday for City, so they've got to act quick, got to get them announcements sorted for Rayan Ait-Nouri and also Tijjani Reijnders in the coming 24 hours or so, and then all focus will move towards Rayan Cherki when it comes to the end of this little stint of the transfer window between June 1st and June 10th, before the window will reopen again on June 16th for the rest of the summer until September 1st. And I, of course, will be keeping you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. Now less than 600 subs away from my aim of 45,000 subscribers. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 600 likes. Social media links, including my X, Instagram and TikTok, are all in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Email also in the description, so you can hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and do go and check out the link in the description where you can go and check out Honeywell Smart Lighting, where you can go and check out that fantastic floor lamp. Links and details there in the description. And anyone that does check out Honeywell Smart Lighting using my link in the description does help to support the future content created here on my channel, and I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.